Hello everyone, so this is the project that we're going to be building. This is a text to image AI generator and it is in JavaScript. So as you can see, like it functions very perfectly. So example, you just import your prompt and then like it's going to retrieve the data using the Openai API. And as you can see, like you can even choose the number of images that you want. Yeah, example, like you can see it gives you the images as per your prompt, and even it has the dark and light mode that I'm going to be showing you how you can build it. So yeah, example, let's put this prompt and see what it retrieves. Yeah, you can see like I've selected only one image, and I don't know, like you can see in each images there is the downloads section and also there is the share section, meaning that can be able to download it and also share it directly. As example, like you see like you've downloaded it, so yeah, and after downloading it, it moves directly to our download folder in our PC. So let's open this one and let's see it. Yeah, so let's just wait. Yeah, and you can see like it's very beautiful and it functions perfectly. So let's import this last prompt and let's see how it is. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see like that loading effect. Yeah, so we will be using another SVG that I'll be showing you how you can use it. So yeah, but as you can see, like the images are not that perfect. I think it's because the API we are using is from Openai and it's free, and yeah, it has limits, but it's free. The images are not that perfect, but at least it gives you the specific image that you have inputted or that you have inquired from it. So okay, so let's add last prompt and start up making our project. Yeah, so this is the last prompt. So if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. So let's start. So let's call the folder AI text to image generator. Yeah, I think that one is okay. Then drag and drop it into the VS Code. You can use any editor that you prefer, but according to me, like I prefer Visual Studio Code. So let's first of all start by creating our files. We're going to be using 3 files. First of all, starting with the index.html, then going to need to create again CSS and also JavaScript. So let's create them. Now so remember, we usually have first of all this is the skeleton of the HTML. So like it's very simple. So like if you press that is control and then exclamation mark, usually just shows you. So example here we have the title is that's AI text to image. So let's say that's the title, and then let's link both our CSS and our JS. So that's going to be link and then rel, that is rel, that rel, that's is style sheet, and then so also href is going to be, that is index dot css. we're going to link it and then let's link our JS file. So like remember when you are going to link JS, you need to use the script tag. Yeah. So that's going to be src, that is index.js, and it's going to link it. So we usually always use the word defer. So let's test it, how it's going to be. So the first thing that we're going to start is, first of all, giving our body a class. Let's give the class container, because like remember, the body is the one that covers the whole website. So, okay, like covers the whole web. So let's give it class container so that we can be able to manipulate and manage it much faster. Then we're going to divide the body into those two sections. So the first section is going to be, let's give it a class of that is image generator. That's the first section. So you can just copy and paste it down below, because we're going to have two sections. So the first section is the one that's going to be containing that's the input bar, and then, or the search bar. Then the second section is the one that's going to contain or have all our gallery, or all the images that we're going to be retrieving from the Openai API. Okay, so in the first section, giving it a div of class content, and then let's give it that's a h4 of text to image. Text to image in JavaScript. So yeah, so let's save it and see how it is. So you can just use any browser that you prefer. Yeah, so just save it. Yeah, so it's okay. So let's change the h4, that from h4 to h1, because like remember, this is the heading of our application, or our website. So yeah, and then let's give it a form. So like remember, in this form, this is where like this is the part that's going to be containing all the part that you're going to be inputting your prompt. Okay, like the part you're going to be inputting your prompt, so that you can be able to fetch the data. Yeah, so that's search bar. So giving it an input of type text, giving it a class of prompt input. Remember, like, yeah, and then placeholder, describe anything you want to say. So let's give it a div. So let's create a div, because this div is the part that's going to allow you to select the number of images that you want. If you want like maybe the 4 images, or if you want the 3 images, or the 2, or even if you just want to like generate 1 image. So this div is the one that contains that. So giving a div of controls, and then select a class of, that is image quantity. Yeah, so this part, giving it again, that is option. First one, let's say one image, then giving it a value of 1, and then you're going to, that is, copy it and then paste it. That's 4 times, because you're supposed to be generating like maximum of 4 files. Okay, sorry, 4 images. So yeah, so let's fix it. So let's put the 4 to be selected, so that if you open the application, like in whichever place, or if you open the application, it's just going to be 4, the one that's selected, the maximum number. Okay, So yeah, so everything is okay as per the browser and everything. So actually I'm not using live server because my live server is not working, so I opted in just using the old way of just running it every time I make changes. Yeah, so I'm not using the live server. My live server is not working in my editor. I don't know why, but yeah, so but we're still going to be continue making it. So again, creating the button. This is the button that contains, that is the button generate, meaning that after you click it, you're supposed to like to generate, like is the one that is going to give that instruction that your input is complete, yeah, so that you can generate the correct image from the AI. So yeah, so from this part, so this index.css, I'm not going to code with you all of it, because remember, like, it's a lot of codes. It's approximately 400 line of codes, and if I want to like to start coding with you like 400 lines of code, like those are a lot of lines. So what I'm going to opt to do, like, I'll just link it like in the description, so all the codes, because like it's has a lot of lines of code. Yeah, and it's very simple. You can see, like, you have the CSS, that is root. You have the primary color set to, that is that one, secondary color. So here you have the root and the dark theme. So these two are the ones that are controlling how the dark and the light mode works. Okay, so this is the part of the dark theme, and the root are the ones that are controlling how the dark and the light theme are working. So but for them to work, you're going to be implementing them like fully in index.js. Okay, so yeah, so again from here you can see like the icon is the one that contains that is the moon icon and the sun icon, meaning that when you press it, like, it's going to change as per the theme, per the theme, if it's either the light mode or the dark mode. Yeah, so yeah, I can see like it's very simple line of code, but I'm not going to show you how to write it, or I'm not going to like to code with you all of it, because it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't want it to like to be this video like to be very long. So yeah, because of some reason I can just go through it, and if there is any question, please don't forget to let me know. You can see like very simple things. Yeah, but if you don't understand, don't forget, tell me. So let's return again to our HTML. So after saving it all, so you have a problem here. You can see like the body is covered with like there's a problem there, but let's try fixing it. So let me open my CSS and my HTML side by side and see. So let's see. So there is nothing. Okay, so let me just explain to you how it is. So you can see like here you have that the part of the container. You can see like the container has the background color of var, then primary color, position relative. So the container has taken that color because remember we still haven't implemented the JavaScript part. So like you haven't implemented that part. So what you're going to do is, first of all, it's going to take the first color that is assigned to it. So yeah, so let's see. So let's give the form an action of h, that is hash, because it is not moving anywhere, and then a class of, that is be generate form. Yeah, so yeah, then that's what it applies to. So let's move to a CSS and see what it does. You can see the part of generate form. So yeah, hope you can see it. So we have like a height of 56 pixels, the width is 100%, the display flex padding 6%, margin 45 pixels, 0 and then 15 pixels. And then there's the background color, it takes the secondary color, and that's the color from the root. So and you like can see, like example, the prompt input. Those are the styles on the prompt input as per the class that you had assigned it. Yeah, so there's a problem here, so let's fix it. So first of all, let's create a folder called images. This folder is the one that is going to be containing all the assets that we're going to be using, all the images, that is the hard-coded images, and then the download.svg, all the svg files, the download, the loading, the moon, and also the share button. So yeah, this, like, you can see how they are. And remember, like this svg, you can get them from anywhere. If you just write like free svgs on the browser, like, you're going to be brought all of them. So just search for free svgs on Google, and you'll get a bunch of them. So let's just pick the first one. Yeah, so here example, you can just write your prompt example, let's say here moon, and then we get a bunch of svgs that you can use. You can just download them as either as an image or as an svg. For example, let's say sun. Yeah, so you can see like all the response that you are getting, all of those ones, so you can just use them. Yeah, so let's look at how it is. So let's look at the problem, what the problem is with the code. But I hope like you haven't been confused with the part of the root and the part of that's the dark theme, that part. So let's first of all move this container from here below. Like I've made this mistake. I'm move it at the almost top. Yeah, so let's save all of it and see. So this, we're going to write like here, the below the section, that's the image, and this image is the one that is going to be containing the svg of the moon, the one that is going to be controlling the dark and the light theme on our application. So we're going to be giving it an id of icon. So like the problem was here in that part, in that the second part that you had copied the part of the section. So it's supposed to be like image gallery instead of the one that we had copied it. Yeah, so it's supposed to be image gallery. You can just correct it, and then giving it a div of class image card. and then like let us just right now start putting the hard-coded images. So our image is called bg.jpg, then give it an alt of image. So let's just save and look at our browser. Yeah, so now from this part, like I want us to copy it, and then like we're going to paste it like 4 times, because it's expecting like the maximum number of images are supposed to be 4. So copy and paste it. So let's start by putting that is the download icon. Okay, before that, let's first of all give it a class of download. Giving a class of download Midjourney, and then inside it we're going to put the download svg. Then give it an alt of that is download icon. So yeah, so like that. Then now let us we can even just copy it. We can like copy it and then like paste it in all the other ones. But before that, let us again like create let us put some comments, so that the share button starts here. Like it's a good thing to put comments in your code, because like remember, so that even other developers are coming to look at your codes, they'll be able to understand it. And even when you're going to be looking at your codes maybe after some 1 year or 2 years from now, so that at least you'll be able to navigate it or go through it much easier. So yeah, so let's put some comments here for easy reference. Now from below here we're going to put a div, and this div is going to contain that the share svg. So like remember, svg you can download it very easily on the internet, like it's very simple and you can download it anywhere. So giving it a class of share btn container. Then giving it about the button to give it an image of src, that is images dot stroke share dot svg, because like the share svg is located in our images folder. Then giving it an alt of that is share icon. Yeah, so you can save it, and yeah, so there's a problem here, so we need to give it some styles, or like just give the button the respective class. So we're going to give the button class of share btn. So let's save and see how it responds. So yeah, everything is perfectly okay. So now from this point you're going to copy it and then paste it like in the other sections like of the images. So like before that, let us first of all like put a div that will be containing all our social media icons, because like remember, when someone presses the share button, they need to be showed all the social media icons or the social media platforms that they can share the respective image. So giving it a div of class share option, then there's another div inside it of class social media, and then inside that one like we're going to give it all the links to the respective social media icons, but we're going to do that later. So let's just move below and put a div. This div is going to be containing class of link container, and then inside the link you're going to put a p tag, which has a URL, and the URL is https, and then that is going to be ai.com/share, meaning that it contains like the URL of the website. And then below it you're going to put a button. So the button is going to be displaying copy, and it's going to be having a class known as copy btn. Like, for those who don't know, like btn just represent just button in short form. Yeah, so yeah, so that, like, let's put some comment here, like this is the end of that's the share button. Like it's a very good thing to put comments, but don't overdo it. But it's yeah, it's a developer best practice, because like, remember, you're not the only one writing and then reviewing the code for yourself. As maybe you're doing that for yourself. So yeah, so here inside the class social media, we're going to input the links to the respective social media icons later. So yeah, so let's just copy the whole, that is the whole div with the class img card, and replace it with all the other three ones, the other three. Yeah, you can just replace them by pasting after you have copied them. Then let's just arrange it so that it may be presentable. Yeah, so okay, everything looks okay. Now let's first of all move to our index.js, so that at least we may try to implement that the part of the dark and light mode. So what you're going to first of all to do is that you're going to, like, we're going to try and to implement this dark and light mode, and we're going to use conditional statements. That means, like, yeah, conditional statements. So let's start. First of all, you can just put here comments the dark theme, because right now, like, it's on the, like, by default it's on the light theme. So let's just write the dark theme. That's just by, yeah. So yeah, so from this point you can say like const icon, because remember, like, the image is found on, like, on the icon ID. So giving a document.get element by ID, so the ID name is icon. Yeah, so like, it's very good at least to be using like either an ID or a class. If you're using class, you can just say like get, like, there's another query that you can use. So I'll be showing you later. So here, here is how you can do it. So you can say like icon.onClick is equals to function, meaning that when you press that, the icon, like, is going to run this function. And what's the function? So the function contains, that is document.body.classList.toggle dark theme. So I know you might be wondering, like, where do we get this, the word dark theme? So dark theme, like, is found from the index.css that we had written earlier. Now again, so here is going to be icon.src is equals to document.body.class lists dot contains like it contains the dark theme, and then let's say here images dot sun dot svg, or else then do the other one. So like this, just conditional statements, meaning that if it runs this one, and then like if it contains the dark theme, then it needs to like it needs like to run the function that it needs to run like that part of image stroke sun dot svg, else it needs to run that the part of images stroke moon dot svg, like just conditional statements. But this is much simpler because like it's on one line as compared to 3 or 4 lines, so meaning it's even much easier to maintain and very much easier to understand. Yeah, and it takes just only one line of code, just conditional statements. So if you don't know your conditional statements, how to use conditional statements, like go and brush it on them. Like it's very important in programming and in coding. Like conditional statements are very important. The if and what, the if else, what, like all those ones need to be good in them. So yeah, our application is functioning perfectly. Now let's move to the part of the, so we are going to be using the fonts that are going to be coming from Font Awesome. So you can just search it, Font Awesome icons, and then just move to the search bar or the search section, and then type the kind of icon that you want. Example, let's say WhatsApp, and there is the icon. And if you move into it, you get that you have like some codes. You have a line of code that you can import into your website. I will import this line of code to be able to reflect in your website. So that's the line of code. But remember, there are so many ways of getting the same image or an image, or getting the same image. It doesn't have to be just only one. Example, can look at this other one. So there are so many ways by just using the Font Awesome code. Example, let's say Facebook, and yeah. So yeah, and even don't forget to go through their documentation, because you'll be able to understand it much better after reading all the documentation, or after reading thoroughly the documentation. You can see like how they have explained it perfectly. Okay, so let's see. So let's just make some changes here. Yes. So like you're going to need this line of code, and you should import it into your header section. This one is very important if you're going to be using the Font Awesome icons. There it is, that link that has that Font Awesome link is very important. Then here in the part of the social media icons, so we're going like to paste like the one that has WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So you can just search all of them from the Font Awesome website that I had shown you earlier. You can just you can look at them. Very simple. Yeah, so those are the icons that we'll be using. Remember, if you have any challenge while getting the icons, you can just write it on the comment section, and I'll be able to respond to your query or your question. So, and remember, let's add that on click is very important. Yeah, so let's just copy the whole of it and duplicate it. That will be 3 times. And just copy it and then duplicate it 3 times instead of copying one by one, because yeah, it will just save us time. Yeah, like that. Yeah, so I think everything looks okay. Everything looks okay. Now let's just move to our JavaScript file. And in our JavaScript file, we are going to first of all implement the share. That's the share button. Like, we need to make it to be functional. So we are going to write that is cons share btn to, and then we're going to query selector the class that will be equal to document.query selector, and that will be share btn, the class share btn. So let me just show you. You can just see from that point share btn. There will be query selector. We are going to do a query selector on it now. So let's here implement a function, a share function. I say like going to be share btn dot add event listener, because like it's very important. Okay, but before that, let's add some. Let's do some query selector for some other classes that we're going to be using. So the first one, that is, or the second one, so like share options. Share option, because share option is the one that contains all the social media icons. So let's write our function that will be share btn dot add event listener. That will be click, meaning that when there's click, then it needs to like run that function. So the function, so share options, it needs like to run that function containing the social media icon. So the function is share options dot class list dot toggle active. So that's the function that needs to like to run. Okay, just save it and see if there's any changes. Remember, I'm not using live server because of some issue with my code editor, but if you don't have any issue, just you need to use live server. Yeah, very useful. Now let's just move to Openai so that we can get our AI keys, our API keys, sorry. So here is the docs. You can move to it, so you can just look at it. Very simple. So this is how you're supposed to like implement that function, that implement the request for the API. You can just look at it because you're going to be using it later. Yeah, so you can go through the documentation if you have the time, because remember, like, it's very important, so that at least you will not be stuck or you won't have an issue. So let's see. Yeah, part of quick start, let's move to Windows because I'm using Windows. So you can just see how you need to use it. Very simple and very direct. Yeah, and this is how we are supposed to be making API requests. Now let's move to our API keys. So we are going to create a new API key. Just give it any random name that you want, but remember, it's not a must to give it a name. You can just give it any name. So remember, you are not supposed to be posting or to be sharing your API keys. The API keys need to be secret, because remember, when hackers get hands on it, then they can use it for their malicious purposes. So let's fill this authentication part. Yeah, so here is our key. Let's copy it. Yeah, so after you've gotten the keys, it's very important for you to wait for some time for it to be activated. Now from this point, since you already have the keys, now let's put it here in our code. But never do this in real world applications or applications that you're going to deploy them. Don't just post the keys directly like this. It's not good practice. So you're going to write it above there. Yeah, so let's just paste our key. There it is. Remember, after using this keys, I'm going to disable it. So yeah, so let's say const Openai AI key is that one. So very simple. Now from this point, I want to first of all to write a function. And this function it's going to generate the AI image that we're going to be using in our application. So, and remember, it's async. So that is it const generate AI image async user prompt and then image quantity. User prompt, because user prompt, the prompt that you're going to be importing, image quantity, the number of images that you're going to use. So let's first of all declare some variable there. So there is first of all generate form is called document dot query selector generate form. Yeah, so I hope you can see the generate form. So remember, it's async. So since it's async, yeah, first of all, let's start by trying to catch any error that you can get. So you can use the try catch. So try a second response is equals to await response, await fetch, and then the https api.openai.com /v1 images generations. And then if you read the documentation, you find that this part is very important. You can find it from the OpenAI documentation. Just go through the documentation. Very important. So method is going to be post, and then we're going to say headers. So header is going to be content type, then application .json. Sorry. And then authorization going to be authorization here a little bit of. So this one is the one that GPT has given me, but I don't want to use this one. I want it to be dynamic. So I'm going to be using backticks, and I'm going to say bearer. Then is the $sign. Then it's going to be OpenAI API key. And then body is going to be JSON.stringify. That's by default. Prompt is going to be user prompt. And remember, n is the number of images that you want. So you can just write there directly, but here we're going to say %, user image quantity. But you can just even write you can say like 2 4 if you just want those two or four images, but I always want it to be dynamic. And then size is going to be 512 by 512. Response format is going to be b64 and underscore JSON. Remember, that's very important, so you can find it all from the documentation. So here let's use a conditional statement, because remember, like, if you there's always going to be some problem here and there, so you can use if here. So you can say if response is not okay, then it needs to run this part, which is throw new error. That is, it needs to throw this error, and this error is supposed to be, let's say, like, failed to generate images, please try again later, or please just try again, because there's always going to be error. If you don't handle any error, then it will lead to crashing of your application or system, and that's not good. So you can use your const, let's say like const, you can say like const data await response.json, then update image. But remember, like, we need to update the images, like, because we already have the default images that we have on our system, so like you need to be able to update it. Okay, so let's first of all declare some variables. So const image gallery going to be document.query selector, that's going to be image gallery. Okay, mean that needs to replace the previous ones when we input a response. Okay, yeah, so even, yeah, like that. So let's first of all create this function const update image card. So it's going to be like const update image card to be equal to image data array, and then you can run this, that is image data array for each that is image object, and then index. Like, remember, like, those gallery, like those images in the gallery, like, they're going to be having different indexes. Okay, so here you can declare some variable. So you can say like const img card is equals to image gallery dot query selector all. Then you can say image card, then you can say into bracket, like, you can say like not in bracket, like, then index. They're just showing that it's an array. Then again const img element, because the image element to be equal to img card dot query selector, then I can say img, that's just the image. And then const download btn to be equal to img card dot query selector download btn. Download btn. Then here const ai generate img, and then here we're going to say like data image stroke jpeg and then base 64. Now this one, like, we need to say like the $img object dot b64, but it needs to be in backticks. Okay, yeah, so you can just put it into backticks, and then img element dot src to be equal to a generated image. But first of all, let's do this. Let's implement that part. That will be img element dot onload. So So img card dot class list dot remove, that is loading, like it needs to remove that part of the loading, that loading as svg that we had downloaded, and then there's the part of download btn dot set attribute to be href, then AI generated dot generated image, then you have download btn dot set attribute to be, let's just fix this. So yeah, so download btn dot set attribute and then download. Then you can just use some backticks so it to be dynamic, and then you can say $sign new data new date dot get time. Yeah, like that. So yeah, so so again, like if you can just say like that, because like remember we have used that conditional statements again, because remember, like maybe it might be generating, and then like when the image is generating it might stop accidentally, so it needs to throw that error. So like that. So 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 you need to catch that error, and it's like say console.log error, then alert an error occurred while generating image. Now it, like, let's get the handle form. That's the function handle form, and that it will be taking an event. So the event is so if is image generating, then if is image generating, then you need to return it. So is generating to be true, const user prompt needs to be event, that event.src element index 0 value, then const user image quantity needs to be e.src element 1. Because remember, prompt is going to be 0, index 0, and then the quantity is going to be 1 dot value. Then here, like you can say like const img card markup needs to be the array dot from, that's going to be length to be user img quantity, then needs to run this function. But first of all, you need to input some backticks. That means so you can just come to your HTML code, copy the one from img card, copy the one from img card, then I'm going to be pasting into it. We're just going to be changing a little some things. So in this part you're going to input the part of loading. So you're going to change from bg.jpg to input like the path of the loading svg, and even changing the class and even the alt. Yeah, so like that you can just make those changes. Then you're going to join it. Yeah, join it. Then here you're going to say like image gallery dot inner html to be equal to img card markup. Then it's going to be like generate AI image. Now how do we generate the AI image? We said by using user prompt and by user img quantity, the number of images. So we're going to say generate form dot event listener submit handle form submission. So after, yeah, so from this I think our code is okay. Yeah, everything is okay. So let's just run our application and see how it functions. Yeah, like this. Just say let's just put this prompt and try to generate the images. Let's say how many images to. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that nice loading. It seems like our API key still hasn't, like, still not approved, so you can just wait a little bit for it to be approved. But I don't know if you can see that nice loading effect. Yeah, so you can see like if it functions perfectly, and even as you're finishing the project. So let's try to input this prompt and see how it is, how it behaves. So yeah, you can see like the animation is loading perfectly. It has the two icons. There is the share icon and it has also the download icon. Yeah, so you can see like it functions perfectly. So if you like and enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and also share it. Yeah, so let's try a last prompt just to be sure. And if you have any question, please you can write it on the comments down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Yeah, so even the download button, it functions perfectly. So until next time, goodbye everyone, bye.